morning. It is morning huddle time. I'm Chad Prinky here alongside Stacy Holzinger, as always.
The nature of the beast is the competitive nature of the industry.
Is if you can see it, you can be it.
It's all about the people. The people are what make it great and worthwhile.
Yeah, anything that I think helps build the story behind the company is great.
These are the things that that you're like, we don't need that because we have plenty of work right now. Got it. But if you don't do it now, where are you going to have work in the future?
Good morning huddle time. I got Tom Hughes with me from Genesis AEC. How are you? Good morning.
Go Good morning, Birds. Stace, and a go Birds to you as well.
Philly's had a rough time the last week. It's so heartbreaking. I don't know if the listeners know, but I grew up in Northeast Philly in Mayfair. And my mom used to work at the John Wanamaker's there. It's now the Macy's. And my bus stop for high school was there. And it's just so heartbreaking to see what happened. So
yeah, it was terrible. Everybody was in shock seeing that on Friday afternoon. So we've had, kind of two instances right in your, one in your hometown and one in your own backyard in the last couple of weeks. It's, it's a little unnerving.
Yes, definitely shooken up. So my heart goes out to everybody, my family, my friends, everybody in both the DMV and Philadelphia area. And I'm hoping that the Super Bowl will turn out well for us. We're all geared out in our spirit. You have Spirit Week today or this week at work, right?
You do. It's wear your Eagles gear to Genesis Week.
Yeah.
Even if you're not an Eagles fan, we just make we hand out jerseys as people come walking in. Put this on.
And the whole city is pretty much green. I don't remember it being that green when I was growing up, but I guess with technology and everything, it's so cool to see.
Yeah, they changed the lights in an instant.
Yeah. So today we have Ruchir coming on to talk to us about his nonprofit and also his online trade accredited app. And we were talking briefly. I know I do a lot with ChatCT and workforce development, and you do a lot as well too. Like you said, you were going into the school systems and talking to the kids. Can you talk about what you guys do at Genesis a little?
Yeah. So, look, we understand as a CM firm that there is a shortage of trade workers that's coming up. A lot of the trade workforce is getting older and it's not being, replenished as fast. So when I go and talk to, whether it's I go to a local high school or a career fair for like a town event, I'll talk to the kids about not only engineering and architecture and construction management careers, but also talk to them about going into the trades because, college isn't for everybody. And, making a career with your hands and learning a skilled trade can be a pathway to a very nice life. My father's a mechanical contractor. Two of my brothers work for my dad, and they all do very well. So, you don't have to go to college to create a nice life for yourself.
Right. Well, let's bring Ruchir in and talk to him. Good morning. How are you? You're joining us from New York City, right?
Yes. Good morning. Great to be here.
Yeah.
Good morning, Ruchir.
So
I definitely resonated with everything that you were just sharing about. I think college is 100% not necessary, and you can make so much money in the skilled trades. And so something that we're pushing constantly. So anyways, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, so tell us about your story with SkillCat. Like, how did it come about? How long have you been in business? What drove your passion to start this online accredited app?
Yeah, so SkillCat is a training platform for the skilled trades, and we have about 1,500 hours of simulation-based and certified training focused on HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and appliance repair, and really focused on helping more people get into great skilled trade jobs. So my background, I've been working with the trades most of my life, and so I started a company out of college building online courses and simulations to train oil and gas workers.
Mhm.
Grew that company quite a bit, then went to business school and came out. It was COVID, and everyone in oil and gas was getting laid off.
Mm.
And you had all these really great people who were making six-figure salaries going to work at grocery stores because they didn't really know what other industries needed mechanical skills or needed electrical skills. And that's why we started SkillCat. Is you realize at a high level that's been happening for the last 50 years. People have been laid off from jobs in manufacturing and coal. They haven't really reskill because trade schools are challenging. Right? You have to leave the workforce for a year or 2 years. You got to spend thousands of dollars. It's really hard for folks who might have families or have other financial constraints. And so that was the goal of SkillCat. We started off free, and then now we're still $10 a month. And
Mhm.
it's basically how do you dramatically make it significantly easier for folks to get into the skill trades and then grow in the skill trades. And yeah, we're proud that we've trained about 300,000 people, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, that's incredible. And you said with little to no marketing, people just word of mouth being a free app in the beginning. And I still think $10 is not that bad at all.
Yeah.
Considering, I run a internship program that we briefly talked about, and a lot of the schools now, high schools, are trying to get their high school kids graduated with some type of certifications. And I was saying how Montgomery County Public Schools in Maryland, I think it was 46%, they want their high school graduates
Mm-hmm.
to graduate with something. So I've been talking to a lot of safety consultants, and it's pretty costly to have a consultant come in, and do a training. So I didn't know something like this was available. So this would be great to get the word out to the CTE schools or just high schools in general. Does this apply? Could this apply to middle schools too?
Yeah, really anyone, right? So we have a really wide spectrum of people. So a lot of parents will sign up kids, as early as middle school. And I mean, it's never too early, right? You're always exposed for folks going to college these days, right? You're always exposed from a very early age to like, how do you get into a good school? And you see a lot of office jobs, but I don't think we have enough of a focus on the trades, right? And these jobs have no college debt. You make more money in most cases than people who go to college. People are happier, right? Job satisfaction is 90+% in the skill trades versus 40-50% in your average office job. And you could be a millionaire. I mean, there's so many people starting trades businesses today that are making millions of dollars. And so there's no reason why these jobs shouldn't be advertised like crazy to everyone at any age. And I think you alluded to the nonprofit organization we recently started. The Grit Foundation is really focused on getting kids more excited about the trades. And so we're hosting these camps all over the country that are one-day kind of experiences where folks as early as middle school come in and get exposure to building, to working with their hands, to creating really meaningful things. And they've been super popular, and we're really excited to continue them all over the country.
Yeah, tell me more. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you kind of cross promote the grit and skill set? Is there, when you're doing the grit presentations, do you have them utilize this like a skill set app to kind of hook them in?
SkillCat, we're looking into doing that. So far, I think it's more like if anybody who goes through a camp wants training, we'll give them a scholarship for a couple of months to actually go through SkillCat. I think for us, we're not trying to make too much money off of middle schoolers, but it's like, how do we get you into the trades? And then, in the future, if you're looking for more certifications or growth, we are an avenue for you to train on for your whole life, right? And that's the idea is like, AI, these things are changing the trades in every industry so much. We want to be there as like your companion, giving you new skills and helping you adapt as the world changes.
And then with these camps that you're doing with the Grit Foundation, you're looking for host companies, right?
Yeah, so we're hosting these at Contractors all over the country. And I think it could eventually be a good pipeline for a lot of these companies to also hire talent. I mean, middle school might be a little young, but we have a lot of high schoolers as well who are really looking for something right away. So
Well, it's something that it can get them interested in at an early age. And then, when kids are turning 17, 18 years old, that's when, they can really start to focus on it and, and learn the basic skills that they're going to need to grow into, learning any one of the trade skills.
I mean, like right now, when we look at it, almost everyone who gets into the skilled trades has a family member or a friend in the skilled trades.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Very, very rare that people do it. Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty much how it's been forever, right? Like
Yeah.
that's always how everybody gets it.
But that's a problem, right? Yeah, because it's like guidance counselors aren't recommending it. A lot of parents just think college is the only way, and so it's unfortunate, right? I think we need to change that because then you have it's a small population of people getting into the trades.
It's because they removed the shop classes from high schools in like the 70s or 80s, and they just pushed college. So that's why it's more important now than ever to have nonprofit programs and have contractors leverage those programs and use them to help, because you guys are all set up and you have all the tools. So I think a lot of contractors don't know that. They try to reinvent the wheel or go into the school system and think they have to create this whole new program or presentation or interactive thing. But there's places like the Grit Foundation that you already have a program. You just need participation and a host. That's all you're really looking for, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So we try to make it easy. So when you were talking about your main focus is on MEP, so mechanical, electrical, plumbing, HVAC. I see that you have iron worker training, crane operator, welding. I'm assuming that's all the simulations and things.
Yeah, I think those are more introductory courses, right? These haven't been big, but folks, if students ask, hey, I want a basic overview of some of these things, or, we try to provide some of that. But we're not that deep in those areas yet. And so I think we're always looking for new things to build out. So if you have any suggestions or areas where folks need them, our goal is to keep this training forever as low cost as possible and just make it really accessible to folks in every industry and in every area. And so some things are hard to learn. Like I think welding, we haven't built simulations on welding. I mean, it's hard to really, like how do you weld online?
You've got to do that in person.
Yeah. So,
and like even remotely.
Yeah, exactly.
Not yet.
So yeah. Like VR and stuff exists, but it's like not even close to the level you need to really feel immersive in these things. And so it's like, I think right now our focus is whatever you can learn online or as close to as possible, we'll do that. And then we're trying to build out this network of contractors all over the country where you can go online and then go to a contractor near you for like a flexible, like, maybe every weekend for a few hours to get, a comprehensive hands-on piece as well.
Yeah. So
is it basically your like Common Core math too that you're teaching, and then maybe like you're not so like you have solar installation training, things like that, but is it more troubleshooting courses
for solar or for just in general?
I guess in general.
Yeah, we have kind of the full spectrum. So I think a lot of tradespeople start with maintenance, preventative maintenance, some install, and then they move into service. So it gives you a good foundation, kind of like a trade school, but then you also have a lot of applied areas as well. So we just signed a big partnership with HVAC School, which is this big YouTuber and YouTube channel in HVAC, and they have hundreds and thousands of videos on a lot of troubleshooting and more advanced elements of the trades, and we're in the process of bringing all of that content onto the platform as well. So
yeah, so in order to kind of grow and spread your spread awareness of your program, are you reaching out to, I guess, like trade schools or local union organizations to kind of find another avenue in which to impact people?
Yeah, we work with a lot of trade schools. We've talked to unions. They're a little bit more difficult to work with because just a lot of them have training, right? So there are a few union shops that are using us, or union chapters that are using us all over the country. Yeah, I think we have historically just been really direct to the straight to the tradesperson. So like we've done a lot on social media, and like a lot of people talk about us on Reddit, and but I think now we're trying to build out those partnerships more. So we just signed the partnership with Skills USA, which is a really incredible organization.
That's pretty huge, yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. They do, I'm not sure if everyone knows, but they do these programs in schools where schools compete around different trades-related competitions. And there are hundreds of thousands of students, I think 400,000 all over the country. And so they're going to be giving out a 1-year access to SkillCat for their gold medalists at these competitions in each state. So that's really cool. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're trying to get the word out everywhere. And so if anybody is interested in what we're doing or wants to work together in any way, please reach out.
I like the way that it was described, that it was kind of like the Duolingo for trades, where you can, you kind of take it at your own pace, but there's actual certifications that are awarded, right? Now, how did you, I guess you had to work through, certain organizations in order to get the right curriculum to be able to get people certified. What was that process like?
Yeah, that's correct. So kind of you work with these organizations, they have like syllabi and processes. We have our content team as a mix of subject matter experts with years of experience in the field, together with instructional designers and then animators who create our 3D animations and simulations. And everyone works together to build out these courses. And then, for some of these organizations, it's quite a process to get accredited and approved. But yeah, that's really important. So we've gone through that. So yeah.
That's awesome. And then you have packages for businesses too. Can you do custom courses for businesses if they request anything?
Usually if one business wants something, a lot of other companies also want it, right? So like we had talked earlier about, I know Disney is one of our customers for their cruise lines. And the courses and the things that they're looking for are very similar in terms of general maintenance to what a lot of other companies also want. So we typically don't do stuff just for one company, but usually if one company wants it, a lot of other people also want it.
Yeah. Are there any certain courses that are really taking off that people are really interested in over others?
I think the certifications are really popular. So anything where you get a certification at the end that's from a government body, and like our EPA 608 or like this NATE certification that comes through an accredited organization, those are really popular. Also, the new courses with HVAC School that we put out are really popular because there's a lot of video and a lot of interactivity, and people love a lot of these big. And these YouTubers have built an incredible following because they're so good at teaching. And we've been able to leverage a lot of that content in our courses, which has been really cool.
And that's where you said you partnered with a guy who does the HVAC. So he's helping you with the video and the education there.
Yeah. So we're taking his entire library of content and we put it all into the app and building out
cool.
Of that, which is really cool. So.
Okay. That's very interesting. Yeah. Everybody's on YouTube now. So
yeah.
So one of the, you talked about the different types of trainings, and then outside of just, trade specific trainings, you also offer other trainings like, OSHA 10. Do you have like a first aid training or something like that? But are there other things that not just, somebody looking to get into the trades, but maybe, somebody like me who's managing the trades, and we've got to, our people have to have OSHA 10 and OSHA 30, and they have to be first aid, CPR trained, or you have things outside of the just trade specific accreditations that you offer?
Yeah, so a lot of safety training in a bunch of different areas. We have some customer service training. I think that could be interesting for folks. We also have some aptitude assessment. So kind of on the hiring side, we have a mechanical aptitude simulation where you can go through and have to digitally put together piping and read directions and follow instructions, which has been interesting for companies in the hiring process. And it's just really hard to find people who actually have that commitment to learn on their own and mechanical skills.
Right.
Those are a few of the areas. Yeah, go ahead.
Like a little bit of soft skill training in there, it sounds like, too.
Yeah, I think some of those need it, right? So that's a very important aspect as well.
Definitely. Um, what
And
else?
so far you've reached about 300,000 people you've trained so far. That's
Mhm.
pretty impressive.
And we're just getting started, and we haven't done much marketing. So I think our goal is to bring that to millions over the next few years and really get everybody on our platform. So.
Yeah. Have you gone on Shark Tank yet?
Not yet. I sent Mark Cuban a cold email one time, and he like viewed the email and like viewed our deck, but he never responded. So
Well, you have to be aggressive and keep following up.
Yeah.
That's not what he did, right?
I know.
Isn't he
Yeah.
selling like trash bags or something?
It's true. Yeah, Mark, if you're on this podcast, please.
I think he is. I'm waiting for him to pop up.
He's a huge fan of the huddle. Yeah. Yeah, keep plugging at it. I mean, I think this is so great and it's so affordable. And, I definitely want to share this with the CTE connections that I have. And I know I've introduced you to some people lately. So, I mean, this is something that I think definitely high school kids and somebody that's exploring a career change might want to just dabble into and not pay like a ton of money just to see if they would even be interested in it.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I mean, we get high schoolers all the time asking, like, hey, do I need to go to trade school? Is SkillCat enough? Like, what do you suggest? There are some really great trade schools out there, and if you can afford it, you should go. Like, there's some fantastic trade schools where they give you a lot of hands-on. But I think the easiest thing is get your short certificates that you need for like a job in HVAC or plumbing or electrical, and then get an apprenticeship. So get your certificates, get the basics, and then go door to door. Like knock on doors, say you're willing to work and do whatever it takes. Get in the door, and then your company will train you. And so many of the companies we talk to just don't value trade schools outside of the fact that, hey, you have your certs and you get like a stamp of approval. You've actually done some work, that you've shown some commitment to get into the trade. So if you can show that commitment through SkillCat and you can get your foot in the door at an apprenticeship, you can avoid spending a lot of money on a trade school. And if you can't get in the door, then go to a trade school. I mean, you always have that option.
It provides a great background or a base for somebody who's looking to get into the trades and maybe doesn't have the connections of family connections or friends that can kind of get their foot in the door. If you can build a resume that's got some certifications on it and people see that, people don't read every word on a resume, but if they look at certifications and they see these things, they're like, okay, let's bring this person in.
And that's what we're trying to, I think this networking aspect is one of the next phases for us, is like, how do we help people network their way into that first job or first few jobs? And so I think that's the thing we're trying to build, like that bigger community of people.
I know it's really big in pre-apprenticeship programs, like resume building, interview practicing, like a lot of high school level or right out of high school, they're looking for that. So if you could provide that too, that would be just up to par with those, because it's kind of like a pre-apprenticeship, right?
Yeah,
like testing the waters. And then I know by interviewing a lot of people on Chat CTE in the residential community, and tell me if I'm wrong about this, but like you could get these type of certifications and go right to work. Whereas in commercial construction, it's a completely different ballgame and you want to go to trade school for that.
I mean, Stace, in residential construction, a lot of people work without any of those certifications. So you always gotta do your background checks when you're hiring somebody, right?
Yeah.
So
we can train you all across the board, right? So even sometimes trade school, even for commercial, we've seen is not needed because the companies have really great programs to train people once they get onboarded. And nothing beats on the job training.
Right, but this is something that could supplement a company's training program.
Yeah, of course. And we have a registered apprenticeship with the Department of Labor where you can work with us and you can track everything you do, your checks do in the field through our app. And then also have them go through training that supplements all of that.
Yeah.
How long are your courses usually?
So it varies. Everything is designed to be very micro learning. So like 30 minutes, like to an hour, because folks, and each topic is like 5-10 minutes. So you should be able to go through, if you're in the field on your phone, go through a 5-minute topic here and there to really knock out stuff that's really short and to the point. Because think just a lot of folks just don't have a good attention span these days. It's like the shorter you can make stuff and the easier you can make it, the more likely people are to go through things.
And they get tested right after the module is completed?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
And then from a pricing standpoint, it's a individual subscription. That's an individual monthly subscription. Do you have, like if a company wanted to get, a bunch of licenses or whatever, do you offer different price points or price breakdowns?
Yeah, there's a bunch of packages for companies where you can create custom paths. You can monitor and all your trainers' progress and everything, and those a little bit higher, but depending, I think starting at $12 up to $50 a month per technician, depending on what level.
Okay.
Do the companies that use your online program, do they incentivize their staff for completing, or have they shared any of that with you?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that's the companies that are most successful do a lot of that, right? So it's a very clear career path. It's like, hey, you go through these courses, you show that you can do these things, we're going to give you a raise, we're going to give you a promotion. That works really well, right? If you can other people don't know where they're going, right? So they quit because they don't realize that they have a path to growth. And then a lot of gamification works well. So then leaderboards with companies where they can like track who goes through the most modules and give out a little prize to them. And that works really well as well.
Do you set that up, or is that something the company has to set up?
We can help with that as well. So we have a great playbook, and we can share all of that with companies. So.
And that's usually like swag that they win, and like company swag or something?
Yeah, we've tried cash, we've tried swag. I think different things work. Like pizza, beer. There's different options.
Nice.
The usual incentives.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we got everything. Is there any other questions, Tom, or anything that we missed, Ruchir, that you'd like to share?
Well, I think if anyone's in construction and wants to get into a specialty trade, I think our software is a great tool. And if there are any companies that are looking for a more scalable way to provide training, like we'd love to talk. Even if we don't have everything now, we're always building, and we'd love to see if we can help in any way. Because our goal is to be here forever and work in every trade and just support a lot of people.
Keep improving.
Yeah, make it easier for folks to get in. So.
Are you looking to hire right now any animators, or what type of positions do you hire for?
We not all of the above. We are hiring right now probably for someone on our content team. So if anyone knows anyone who's maybe a former YouTuber or someone who's created e-learning or training in the past, like an instructor who also has deep trades background, preferably HVAC, but plumbing, electrical, all of the above, and is excited about helping shape what I'm calling already the largest trade school in the country. We would love to talk.
Awesome.
So just one last thing, Ruchir. So with the subscription, the basic subscription, does that get you access to, sort of any one of the disciplines, or do you need to pick like a trade specific? How does that work?
No, it gives you access to everything.
That's cool.
So I think OSHA 10 is the one where there's like a slightly higher cost. That's through a third party.
Okay.
But everything else, it's included. So we want folks to learn and go through everything. A lot of people cross train in different trades. People can explore what they're interested in. So
that's great.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to explore this with my internship program and hopefully get my 5 interns certified in something by the end of their internship. Because it would be great to walk away with something that you can be proud of. So and get a head start. Well, it was so nice talking to you. Thank you for your time. Yeah. I hope you have a great day. And Tom, me and you will wrap up here.
Yeah, sounds good. Ruchir, it was nice meeting you. And this program is really cool. I'm personally going to check it out, and I will try to promote it for you.
Cool.
If you have any additional resources, just be sure to send them to me, and I'll send them out to our listeners in an email.
Yeah, that sounds great. Go Eagles.
All right, thanks. Have a good one. See ya.
All right, thank you.
All right, Tom. So next week on the huddle, we have Stanley Stoll joining us, CEO, Structure Failure Analysis. That's probably something you're much more familiar with than me. But he'll be joining us, and Chad will be back. And then you are going to be with us again this season, right? Towards
Yes.
April.
Next month in April.
Yeah, we'll
Sometime
talk
later.
lean. I know that's like your go-to topic,
Right on.
your expertise. Well,
I try
thank
to
you
stay
so
away
much.
from structural failures as much as possible.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being my guest host today.
Anytime, Stacey.
And go Birds. We
That's
really
right.
need this good news.
They're gonna win.
They're gonna
Write
win.
it down. Book it.
All right. I'll see you.
All right.
Have a good one.
See you, Stace.